Hi everyone, I'm Oren. I'm the Regional Sales Manager for Verifone Digital here in Israel. And today I want to speak with you about growth. How we in Verifone, using our e-com platform, the 2Checkout, how we are addressing those challenges of growth for a SaaS company. I will do that from the perspective of the payments and the subscriptions workflow. If you don't mind, I will take this 15 minutes and try to brainstorm with you guys about what it takes to have a mindset of growth for a SaaS company. What resource do you need? How you actively execute a working plan to achieve those goals. And I will also show you some work that we're doing for our customers. I will try to investigate it from two aspects for both B2C and B2B companies. Actually, our slogan is, in 2Checkout, simplifying B2Any commerce. If you allow me, in a nutshell, the journey of 2Checkout started in 2006, where the company was founded. It was founded by software entrepreneurs. They were developing an antivirus software. Later, it was sold to Microsoft. The name is Rav. And those guys were actually looking for a robust company to sell their offering online. This is how 2Checkout was developed. The goal is actually to help people and companies to seamlessly sell the products online. Earlier this year, in 2020, the company was merged into Verifone, a well-known company that helps merchants and retailers all over the world to process endpoint transactions for their consumers. It was actually an in-house merge because both of the company were backed by the large investment company in the US, Francisco Partners. So everybody wants to sell more and grow. This is obvious. There's a lot of tools out there also that will technically help you do that. But as I mentioned before, what it means really to have a mindset of growth. The first term that comes into my mind is a conversion rate and constantly trying to improve it. Conversion rate is essentially the bottom line of any online sale. It's also more of a B2C oriented challenge, and it's all about how a business optimizes their user experience of their site and on the cart pages. Actively trying to improve this conversion rate will result in reduce the abandonment in the purchase funnel, lower your cost per acquisition, obviously increase revenues, but I think the most important part is to allow the company to take a customer-driven decisions. In 2Checkout, we develop what we call the optimization cycle. This cycle is taking the customers from point A to point B, where point A is the current conversion rate, and point B obviously is the new one, but not a fantasy one, rather a real one, an objective one that is based on generating accurate and reliable data. Finally, also defining the metrics for the success. The first part of the cycle is analyze. Real data is the base for any activity that's regarding trying to optimize the conversion rate. And essentially we need an anchor to relate to. The anchor is the control value in the language of the testers. We want actually to understand the bits and bytes of the current payments workflow of the company, see where they came from, how they created this workflow, and try to set an objective variation and the new conversion rate for the future. The second part, strategize, is where we lay out our hypotheses. In our case, those could be templates, maybe a cart flow, maybe cart parameters, etc. Eventually, those will allow us to create the mockups for the test variations. The third part, the test, where probably the merchant can sit back and relax, but not us. For us is a constant period where we're monitoring and reviewing the results of the test. And finally, optimize, where we present an executive summary of the project with the results and the winning templates and parameters so we can implement it in the current workflow of the company. Allow me maybe to drill down to such an activity or test, and I'll show you an example. Our case study shows that there are very specific action items, parameters, etc. that can improve the conversion rate. Obviously, this list is very long, but I will name and mention a few of them. Obviously, those parameters can be customized and change per case and customer. But some of them are, for example, the cart templates, meaning testing different design and layouts of the cart template itself. It can be, for instance, the cart flow, meaning adding or removing, let's say, a review page for having either a longer or a shorter flow. It can be also a checkout form, meaning the actual numbers of fields inside this form. It can also be a cross-sell offer, the location of the offer inside the purchase funnel. All of this may sound be not important to you guys or not relevant, but it results in significant number of percentage improving the conversion rate. It's all proof results. The last point that I wanted to talk about, since 2Checkout and Verifone are technology companies, our cart architecture, it's a huge factor on the optimization rate. Behind this architecture, there are a long list of features and capabilities, and I wanted to mention, for example, two of them. So for instance, the first one, if we talked before on cart abandonment, we have a feature for cart abandonment campaigns that will allow you specifically retarget shoppers that started to initiate the checkout process and for whatever reason didn't finish it. So those guys, you will be able to target them, and obviously the goal is transfer them for paying customers. The second one is link our cart technology to your account, to your Google account for the Google Analytics and the Tag Manager. And this will allow you, all the merchant itself and all the marketing guys, for example, to have a better picture and have more statistics about the customer journey. So moving on to the second topic that I wanted to discuss with you guys today, which is more of a B2B oriented challenge. And coming back from the last topic, so we said B2C, people are purchasing more, they're increasing the demand, the market is growing. Obviously, we live in crazy times of the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of the things, I don't need to tell you, that are shifting online. One of those things is the direct sale process, right? So think about it, we are meeting less with our client and prospects. We're flying less. Not sure if anyone missed that. And what we see is that the demand from the market is for tools that will help automate, streamline, and shorten the cycle of these direct sales, because everything is done now online, in Zoom meetings, in our CRM, or any other internal system. In a simple language, a lot of the direct sales are moving now to the online world. In 2Checkout, we are talking about an omnichannel workflow, meaning that in SaaS companies, obviously, you know, we have two types of deal. the self-service one and the sales assisted one. The self-serving, for instance, are the low volume deals, low cost deals. The buyer, your customers are going on site, purchase the software, and basically that's it. And to check out, we want to keep them all on the same loop. So imagine you have a self-service deal, and probably some of them have potential to cross-sell and upsell. We want to nurture them to the cross-sell and upsell and eventually put them back on the loop for the self-service one because they're, after all, still a low-volume deal. But we saw that in a lot of the project that we have and customers and in the field that sometimes there's like a virtual wall beside those two areas. So the self-service are treated like this and the sales assistant one treated otherwise. And sometimes that you would like to renegotiate or reissue a new deal for the self-service one. And it takes resources and time from your CRM manager or internally in the company, etc. We try to solve it and remove the complexity of this workflow, having those two types of deals in sync. But I will stop for a second, and maybe you have this question in mind, and this is a question also that I get from customers, is why do we need something other than our CRM for that? We have all the data there, we're doing our POs over there, we're sending it, it's all working, maybe we don't need any improvement. But actually we saw in the field and in projects that we are doing that we are able to increase, the bottom line is increasing the revenue by using tools that will shorten the sales cycle and remove this complexity. Meaning you will be able to issue a custom deals. I'm talking about the sales assisted ones, the high volume deals that are more customized and probably demand configuration of something other than the legacy CRM or the standard catalog that you have. It will also shorten the sales cycle, meaning it will automate the back and forward that you have after issuing a PO and sending it to approval from the CRM. All this process is automated. And also think about the customers, for instance, it's already a customer, you signed the deal, is paying to you, and you want to get some constant reports or feedback about the customer, about what he's paying, whether he's buying just a one-time software or subscription, how to engage with him. You don't want to wait for like a quarterly or a yearly report. And to check out sends constant feedback from the payments platform to the CRM. So this is it for me, guys. Thanks so much for having me. For everyone who joined or will watch the recorded version on site, we are to check out in Israel. Have a great virtual conference.